Welcome back to Football Daily for this week's edition of Transfer Talk. We have a bumper show lined up for you today with plenty of gossip, rumour and surprise moves being touted. So let's jump straight into it. We kick off this week in Liverpool where Jurgen Klopp's side are in crisis. Their 3-1 defeat to Leicester at the weekend, the fifth time they have walked away with nothing from their last 8 league games, has left them 13 points behind leaders Man City and in 6th, just 3 points above City rivals Everton who have a game in hand. New signing Ozan Kabak started his first game at the King Power and didn't cover himself in glory, getting in a mix-up with Alisson for the second and failing to stop Harvey Barnes for the third. And although we aren't ruling out the possibility of the 20-year-old loanee proving to be a success, we aren't surprised Liverpool are still sniffing around the centre-back market. According to David Ornstein in his most recent column for The Athletic, one man in the frame is 23-year-old Aston Villa defender Ezri Konsa, whose performances alongside supposed Man United target Tyrone Mings has propelled the Villains into European contention. In his second season in Birmingham following his £12 million move from Brentford, where he worked under current coach Dean Smith, Konsa has won 78% of his tackles, helping his side keep 9 clean sheets in his 20 appearances. Able to represent the DR Congo and Angola at senior level, the FA and Gareth Southgate, who Ornstein claims is a fan of Konsa, will be keen to avoid a tug-of-war for the former England under-17 world champion and may call him up for the World Cup qualifiers next month. The only potential problem for Liverpool is the fact Spurs are also interested, having considered signing him when it appeared Toby Alderweireld could be leaving the club in the summer of 2019. Is Konsa good enough for either of these clubs, and if you were him, which one would you join? Let us know in the comments below. Having looked almost certain to leave last month after being transfer listed, it now appears that Christian Eriksen is beginning to win the trust of manager Antonio Conte. Having only been given 4 league starts and just 99 minutes of Champions League action by the start of January, it appeared that Eriksen would be leaving Inter Milan, with a move back to former club Tottenham and even their rivals Arsenal heavily talked about. Ultimately, no transfer materialised, but rather than throw his toys out of the pram, Eriksen set about changing his fortunes, and emerged from the bench against AC Milan in the Coppa Italia to score a delightful free kick, sending them through to the semi-finals against Juventus. He has backed this up with a full 90 minutes against Benevento, just the second time he has done so for the Nerazzurri this season, and 72 minutes against Lazio last weekend, in which he created 2 chances and fired off 1 shot in their 3-1 victory. And his notoriously tough manager Conte has acknowledged his improvement, telling Tuttosport he had a bit of an acclimatisation problem, it took him a while to understand Italian football. Before continuing, he is a player who gives quality, and finding him is one more weapon for me. With his side now 1 point clear of AC Milan at the top of Serie A, the 29-year-old has a great chance of winning his first title since lifting 3 consecutive Eredivises with Ajax between 2011 and 2013. More of the same, please, Christian. We head over to France now, where Sport are claiming that Kylian Mbappe has agreed to stay with PSG until the end of his contract in 2022, and will not force an exit. According to the article, Mbappe, his parents and his agent have attended various meetings with many clubs including Real Madrid. But the 22-year-old superstar has decided that he has unfinished business at the Parc des Princes. Any move for Mbappe, even in 2022, is going to be fraught with difficulties. PSG maintain they will demand more than the £198 million they paid to sign Neymar in 2017, money that Real Madrid, the most likely club to sign Mbappe, simply don't have right now. As we talked about on Continental Club a few weeks ago, Real have borrowed £187 million for the redevelopment of the Bernabeu, with a further £241 million to be borrowed in June, and another £175 million in June 2022. Factoring in a £150 million plus move for Mbappe, who currently earns £18 million per year in wages, won't be possible this summer. However, if PSG don't sell Mbappe, it seems highly unlikely they'll be able to afford Lionel Messi and his monster pay packet. This paves the way for Man City to sign the Argentinian legend this summer, with Guillaume Balaguer claiming the citizens have angered De Bruyne in his contract talks by refusing to meet his demands, with the Belgian media speculating they are keeping the money for Messi. It's certainly going to be a fascinating few months for Messi and Mbappe. From Paris, we now head to England's capital, where it appears that Hakim Ziyech's time at Chelsea could come to an end far earlier than many predicted. Signed this time last year for £36 million, the 37-cap Moroccan international's transition to life as a Premier League footballer has been far from easy. A knee injury sustained in pre-season saw Ziyech miss the first 4 league games of the season, before he featured in the Blues' next 7 Premier League matches, contributing 1 goal and 3 assists as they went unbeaten. Unfortunately though, a hamstring injury sustained against Leeds saw the former Ajax star miss a further 5 games, meaning he could only feature in the final 3 games of the Frank Lampard tenure, in which his side picked up just 3 points. Thomas Tuchel's arrival has seen the team change to a 3-4-2-1 formation. And while Ziyech started the first game against Wolves, a match in which he created 4 chances and fired off 3 shots, his new German manager hasn't played him for a single league minute since. Corriere dello Sport claimed that Juventus and AC Milan are both keeping a close eye on the situation, with the article claiming Ziyech is unhappy with the situation and could look to push a move through this summer. That would be a big shame for Chelsea supporters who are waxing lyrical about Ziyech's quality following their 3-0 win at Turf Moor earlier this season, in which the attacking midfielder was involved in all 3 goals. A record of 6 goal involvements in 19 games for the Blues to date suggests there is more to come, and we think Ziyech should stick it out. From the bright lights of London to the sleepy roads of Norwich, where Sky Sports News claims that Bayern Munich retain an interest in signing the Canaries' Max Aarons. The 21-year-old fullback stayed at Carrow Road this season despite their relegation from the Premier League, and has made 29 appearances this term, contributing 4 goals. His raw numbers of 1.4 key passes and 1.3 dribbles per 90 suggest that with the right coaching the 21-year-old could become world class. According to Sky Sports News, the club that want to offer him that opportunity are none other than Champions League champions Bayern Munich, with the Canaries asking for between £30 million and £35 million for his services. This would seem to be another intelligent move for Hansi Flick's side. With David Alaba and Jerome Boateng almost certain to leave this summer, Flick will need Benjamin Pavard to play centrally next term and compete with Upamecano, Hernandez and Sula. With 29-year-old Bouna Sarr and Chris Richards, nominally a centre-back, their only other right-back options, picking up Aarons would seem like smart business. But Bayern fans, is the England under-21 international the man to take your club forward, or would you target another right-back? Let us know in the comments below. And finally we get to our headline story, and wow, it is a big one. Firstly, it's been clear for a while that David Alaba's preferred destination following the end of his contract at Bayern Munich, a club where he has won 9 league titles and 2 Champions Leagues, would be Real Madrid. In January, transfer guru Fabrizio Romano confirmed that it had always been the Austrian's dream to sign for Los Blancos despite interest from 5 other clubs, and that talks between the 13-time European champions and Alaba's agent were progressing. This week he followed that up by tweeting that the 2 parties had now reached a verbal agreement, and his pre-contract, which runs until 2025, is almost ready. This would be a remarkable coup for Real, signing one of the best centre-backs in the world who can also play left-back or in central midfield, but it does raise one distinct possibility: that Sergio Ramos could actually leave Madrid this summer. The 34-year-old legend's contract talks with the club have yet to get started, with his recovery from surgery following a knee injury his priority right now. But with his contract expiring in less than 6 months, Zinedine Zidane's side had better act fast. Man United and PSG are said to be keeping an eye on the situation, and according to Spanish journalist Josep Pedrerol, there is, quote, no way back for Ramos at the Bernabeu. He continued, Real Madrid believe it as a fact he wants to earn one more big contract before finishing his career. In these circumstances, Real won't offer him a new deal. Ramos would be a monumental loss for Madrid, with his leadership qualities and goal scoring a major asset to the side, so much so that Real have lost 7 of the last 9 Champions League matches without him. But for Man United, this could represent a major opportunity. Having conceded 31 league goals at the time of writing, the 12th best record in the division and the same as 18th place Fulham, it's clear that the Red Devils need to strengthen in defensive midfield and central defence. Rather than triggering Jules Koundé's €60 million release clause, surely it would make more sense to sign the 34-year-old on a free to a 2-year deal, with his current wages worth just over £16 million per year. We think this could be an excellent piece of business. But Man United fans, we want to hear from you. Do you think Ramos is a significant step up on Lindelof, or would you rather sign a younger, fitter centre-back? So guys, that was transfer talk for another week. What did you guys think of the stories, and did I miss anything out? Let me know in the comments down below. As I said earlier, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to Football Daily, and click on screen for another great FD video, and I'll catch you next time.